This is Cults Daily. Throughout April, we're addressing the manifestos and ideologies of some of history's most infamous cult leaders. You might remember the 51-day standoff with authorities, but there's a lot you might not remember about David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. Please enjoy this episode, and be sure to come back tomorrow for a brand new installment of Cults Daily. If you want to hear our full-length episodes on the Branch Davidians, Part 1 aired in this feed on January 2nd, 2018. Listen free on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. In February of 1993, an apocalyptic cult engaged in a deadly firefight with law enforcement, inciting the infamous Waco siege.
For the next 51 days, the cult's members, known as the Branch Davidians, were locked in a tense standoff with authorities. Eventually, a coalition of 899 FBI agents, National Guardsmen, and police officers assembled outside their Texas compound. But even as a dozen tanks were deployed against the cult members, they refused to negotiate a surrender.
In their minds, the battle was a foregone conclusion. They'd been assured by their leader, David Koresh, that the siege was the beginning of a holy war and a righteous apocalypse.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Richardson, and this is Cults, a Parcast original. This is the second episode in our daily series on the strange prophecies made by different cults and their leaders. Throughout this month, we're taking a daily look at the myriad of apocalyptic predictions to try and uncover what makes these revelations so appealing. I'm here with my co-host, Greg Polson.
Hi, everyone. Today we're discussing the beliefs of David Koresh. He convinced members of his cult, the Branch Davidians, that Armageddon was imminent. In 1993, he commanded his followers to engage in a violent battle with Waco police, claiming only war could save their souls.
Three years before the infamous Waco siege, David Koresh took full control over the Branch Davidians. He declared himself a prophet and claimed that not only would the world end soon, but that his followers would be the ones directly heralding the apocalypse.
Over the next few years, Koresh convinced his devotees that they would be the first to fight and die in a glorious holy war. He believed he was humanity's Messiah, destined to lead the faithful to salvation prior to Jesus Christ's return.
According to him, an earthly death was an important step toward eternal life in heaven. For years, the Branch Davidians were taught that they needed to be willing to die for Koresh. It was a core component of their dogma.
Then, in the months before the siege, Koresh warned his followers that the time was finally coming. So on February 28, 1993, when the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives sent agents to search Koresh's compound, violence erupted.
To the Branch Davidians, the ensuing standoff confirmed everything Koresh had predicted. Armed with assurances that they'd be granted salvation in paradise, his followers happily loaded their guns and faced down police.
Authorities had played directly into Koresh's hands. By using force to try and stop the cult, they created exactly the doomsday scenario he prophesied, only making his followers more fanatical.
Once the Waco siege began, there was no chance for the Branch Davidians to back down. Koresh didn't give them any time to think objectively. He drowned his followers incessantly with apocalyptic rhetoric.
As author and journalist Gary Cartwright wrote at the time, this was the ending that Koresh had prayed for and staked his reputation on. The final battle, the trial by fire. Anything less would have been a monumental betrayal of his claim to be David Koresh, angel warrior of the Armageddon.
By the end of the 51-day standoff, 76 people, including Koresh himself, had died trying to bring about the end of the world. In the years afterward, the Branch Davidians grew to embody the popular ideal of the manipulative and dangerous apocalyptic cult.
The death toll also sparked investigations into the actions of the FBI. The scrutiny led to a surge of anti-government sentiment, as many felt the agency had abused its powers by launching an excessively violent attack against a group of civilians.
The impacts of the Waco siege are still being felt today. Though Armageddon never really came in the way Koresh imagined it, he made sure his twisted manipulations left their mark on the world.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow to examine the predictions of another cult.
You can catch our other episodes of Cults for free on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts.